Hey guys, it is story time. Scott with Greviewz here today to talk about something a little bit more personal than our usual videos. Today I'm going to be talking about my ACL tear, the story behind it, as well as my experience throughout the ACL reconstruction post-operation, the operation itself, some tips, some tricks, some just kind of anecdotes from my whole journey here, about 9 months in here, and yeah, just kind of all that good stuff here on the next episode of Greviewz. Stay tuned. So my ACL tear story, it goes back to March of this year, and specifically March 6th, I met up with a few buddies at the Fort Lauderdale International Airport, ready for our annual ski trip. And our destination this year was Steamboat Springs, Colorado. I'd never been there before. However, this was my third year going skiing with the guys, and I was hopeful to be able to maybe break away from some of the green routes and maybe even try some blues. Definitely not blacks, because blacks are just really extreme runs, at least in my opinion. So I wasn't even gonna try to do those at this point. So March 7th is the first day of skiing that we had scheduled. And I get to the rental shop in Steamboat, pick up our skis, pick up our rental gear, our helmets, all that good stuff. For some reason though, I thought to ask the teenager that was preparing my gear if he had adjusted the skis correctly. Of course, he said, "You ready to go, bro?" And I said, "Okay, that sounds good." So took it to the Steamboat gondola, and we all agreed to ski down the run. It's called Why Not, which is the easiest, kind of longest run in Steamboat. The Steamboat Springs gondola area. This is the Steamboat Springs trail map here. So if we scroll in, we took the Steamboat gondola up to the top here, and then Why Not is right here. It says Why Not. Down here, Why Not, and then that goes into right of way all the way back down. And that was the first thing of the day. The very first day, we all four of us, we've all four skied down that first one. After skiing for a couple minutes, it immediately came back to me. I was having fun. I was actually getting a little cocky, and I started telling my other friend who was a little new to snowboarding, you know, kind of how to do it and what to do and all that good stuff. 2 runs later, right before lunch, it happened. So I wasn't feeling quite confident enough yet to do a blue run. So I wanted to do the run Why Not one more time. About halfway down the run, I fell on my right side. It was an offhanded right-hand turn. It was kind of like, it was like this. It was an offhanded right-hand turn coming down the mountain, and it kind of went like a little bit like that. And so I fell to my right side. This ski, my right ski, immediately popped off. However, my left ski did not. It stayed on. This ski dug in to the mountain, and then all my body weight basically just went right over that front knee. And I screamed, but I'm stubborn. So my buddy he asked me if I was okay. I said, yes, let's keep going. Down the mountain I go. That was number 1. That was the first time I fell that day. In my mind, I knew I should have gone to the ski shop. I knew I should have gone and got the ski adjusted. But of course, I'm stubborn, and my buddy's like, let's go back up, let's go. And I says, okay, against my better judgment. So 2 of the other guys were feeling a little bit more confident, and so they ended up going down a run called Vagabond, which is a blue. I didn't feel quite confident, especially because I just fell. I'm like, you know what, let's just try one more time. And mentally, I knew there was something wrong with my knee, but I kept going. So faster and faster I went, came to the exact same corner. Same corner. I don't know if it was mental. I don't know what it was. The exact same thing happened a second time. And here we go again. Right side pops off, left side doesn't pop off. I fell after I come to. I mean, I might have blacked out for a split second there, but after that, after I kind of realized what's going on, I'm on my back, my left leg is under me. So I'm laying on my back, my left leg is underneath me, and the ski is still on once again. So I let out a massive scream. Everyone on the trail stops to see if I'm okay. I said, no, I'm not okay. So someone went down the mountain to call ski patrol. But again, being that I'm so stubborn and proud, I skied back down the mountain after doing this twice. And I knew there was something wrong. That was the longest ski run of my life. It was horrible.
I was in tons of pain. I was going super slow. It was terrible. So get back down to the bottom. It's about lunchtime. I said, I'm good, guys. I'm gonna stay out of this for a little while. I'm gonna get some lunch. So we eat lunch. Still super painful. And after lunch, they're just like, hey, all right, let's go back up the mountain. I'm like, nah, I don't feel like it. I don't think so. So I'm sure my friends just thought I had a sprained ankle or I'm just Scott being Scott. But this time, no, it wasn't. So that was the first day of a 3-day ski trip. And I was out for the count the very first morning of the trip. So it was unfortunate, but I got to see other parts of Steamboat. So anyway, fast forward to coming home. So I came home, I called my local orthopedic surgeon. He immediately suggested I get an MRI. I get an MRI, and immediately upon showing him or sending him the MRI, he knew complete ACL tear. He suggested ACL reconstruction, and certainly I had to weigh my options. So again, I hadn't really never had any real surgery up to this point other than maybe getting some wisdom teeth out. So of course, I don't want to have surgery unless I really need it. He said you don't have to have the ACL reconstruction. Lots of people elect not to do ACL reconstruction if they are not active. That is the key, not active. If I was okay just going for walks for the rest of my life, never running, never playing tennis, never playing basketball, not that I do, but never playing any of those things, then you might not need an ACL reconstruction. You might just be able to just walk and you're fine. Because up until the surgery, I was walking fine. Everything was fine. But really after a month passed, after doing a lot of research, reading all sorts of different articles, watching several YouTube videos, I concluded it would be best for me to go through with the surgery. I wanted to be active. I wanted to play tennis. I wanted to play with my little boy, Justin, who's coming in December. Super excited, by the way, about that. But yeah, I wanted to know that I would be okay, wrestling with my son, etc. So I made sure to stay as active as possible, and that's probably one of the tips that I'll give you a little bit later on, but you gotta stay active as possible. I was stretching, I was walking every day up until the surgery. So unfortunately, I had to reschedule the surgery 3 times. So personally, I got injured on March 7th, and I didn't end up having the surgery until 10 days ago, which was September 11th, 2024. So I actually went, 6+ months without having surgery, and the surgery was very successful. There's actually some thought around having the surgery too soon, because if you do it too soon, there might be still scar tissue in there, and it might be a little harder to do the actual reconstruction. So there's that. Again, talk to your doctor, talk to your surgeon about that. So anyway, week before the surgery, my pre-op appointment, they told me to stop taking vitamins. Any painkillers I was taking, obviously they didn't want my blood to, they didn't want me to bleed out, of course. No painkillers, things of that nature. And I elected to do the autograft patella tendon. There's a couple different options for allograft, which is a cadaver tendon graft, but usually they say that autografts they just tend to have less issues. And of course, it makes sense. It's your own tissue. The patella tendon runs along the front side of your leg. It kind of goes over your knee. So again, obviously haven't kneed yet. Or kneeled yet, so to speak. But he said there might be some tenderness for years to come because, of course, I don't have the full patella tendon, covering my knee anymore. So there's that. However, they do say that that particular graft is actually stronger than the natural tendon in your ACL. It's actually stronger than your original ACL once it's healed and, once you go through PT, all that good stuff. Morning of the surgery came super early in the morning. My surgery was supposed to be at 7:30. So of course, the day of, you're not supposed to drink or eat anything. I walked around, I walked in the surgery room with no pain, any issues, but I was fine. After checking in, they asked me a bunch of questions. One of the questions specifically that I probably made a mistake in answering was they asked me if I got nauseous. And normally I have a very strong stomach. I never throw up. I never do any of that kind of stuff. But that was a mistake on my part, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. So they give me the anesthetic, start to fall asleep, wheel me in. Within 10 seconds in my head, I'm back. I wake up in the exact same spot I was before. They hooked me up to oxygen, and they told me that they administered a nerve block and that into my femoral nerve, which should just take away any feeling that I had, in my leg and my lower leg throughout the procedure. So that is something that's an option. I don't know if I would have done it going back because I mean my leg is still very swelled up. It's very tender, and even like I'm having a hard time even feeling. I mean I can feel in my leg, but it's kind of a dull. It's like kind of a dulled sensation. But that was that. Got home. After that, I tried to eat some miso soup, some homemade miso soup. Immediately came up. I tried the rest of the day to eat, and even the anti-nausea medication came back up. That's a tip there. Just tell them you get nauseous, because I never really normally get nauseous. I don't know what they do differently. If you tell them that you get nauseous, maybe there's a different medication they give you. Maybe there's a different anesthetic that they give you, but it was tough. It was really, really tough on me, and I should have said that I got nauseous because it was horrible. The first day, the only thing I could keep down was saltines and water the first day. So it was really rough, and I was so hungry. I was so nauseous. It was just like, it was a very tough day. The first few days after that got much better. They gave me some exercises to do that I thought would be easy. Pre-surgery, I would have thought a leg raise or a knee slide or an ankle slide, heel slide, whatever you want to call it, would be super easy because it was easy. But now they're all very difficult. I still don't really have much quad contraction, basically the big muscle on the front of my leg. I still can't really tighten it that much. It's really difficult. So that's a big thing, is really keep up with the PT. So anyway, 10 days post-op, here are my tips, tricks, and takeaways from this whole process. Again, these are just my personal experience. Consult your doctor, consult your surgeon about this stuff, but these are just what I have experienced so far. So if you're older and you don't intend on playing basketball, tennis, high intensity, what they call pivoting sports. So pretty much in basketball, same with tennis, you're going one way and you immediately change direction, right? That's called pivoting. If you don't intend on doing those types of things, you probably don't need an ACL reconstruction. But because I want to do those things, I went through the ACL. Also, I didn't tear any other meniscuses or ligaments in my knee. So I wasn't really in that much pain. So again, it might be different for you. I'm going to show a little bit of footage of my leg right now. All right, hopefully this isn't too graphic, but this is my leg 10 days post-op. So you see that there's some bruising here on the side. I have seen worse bruising, but that's my bruising. You can see right here on the top, there's a lot of swelling. My knee is very swollen. I mean, if you compare this knee to this knee, right? I mean, you can see it's like there's a massive bump here right behind my kneecap. So that's that. I also have quite a bit of bruising on the side of my leg here, but this is the incision point. Again, the ACL reconstruction, basically they put a screw here, they put a patella tendon across and screw in another screw over here. This long scar here is from them cutting out part of the patella tendon. So that's that, but let me know, guys. I mean, this is my experience. Obviously, they had to shave some leg hair there, but that is what it looks like. And I mean, let me know if this looks good, if this looks bad. I don't know. Again, this is 10 days post-op. I can do a fair good amount of motion. I'm not fully able to do anything right now. I mean, I can hobble along with my crutches, but that's about it at this point. Hopefully that wasn't too graphic, but I just wanted you to be aware of what mine looks like 10 days post-op. You can, feel free to comment, how yours looks 10 days post-op, two weeks, whatever the case might be. If it's better or worse, any questions, of course, let me know. So make sure you feel confident in your surgeon. So I was super blessed to have an amazing one at Cleveland Clinic in Tradition, Florida. If you want my recommendation of the surgeon, please comment, and I can certainly email you, his name. But he's amazing. He's done all sorts of clinical studies on ACL reconstruction surgeries. He's worked with a lot of athletes before. He's really, really good. I can't say enough good stuff about him. Like I said, if you want his information, I'll certainly leave that, or I'll send it to you in an IM or an email, so to speak. When you go to your pre-surgery appointment, if you get nauseous at all, say yes. Tell them, because I don't know if they would have changed something, the medication, the anesthetic. I don't know what they would have changed, but I should have said I do get nauseous because if that first day had been any different, it might have been a way easier transition post-op. But that was really, really tough for me because of how nauseous I was that first day. Buy your own skis. Don't rent skis. That was the main reason this happened to me, because those skis were not adjusted properly. My left one specifically, it didn't pop off, and that's why my knee is the way that it is. That's why I'm gonna have a piece of my patella tendon missing for the rest of my life. Please, just buy your own gear if you wanna do that type of stuff at all. So that's just that. There's no real way to know if it's adjusted properly until you fall, which is unfortunate because this is what happens if it's too tight. So they did refund. Steamboat Springs was nice enough to refund my ski lift tickets for the rest of the trip, but still, it's not enough for all the stuff that I've had to go through. So costs. The costs of the surgery were mind-boggling, to be honest with you, but I have pretty good insurance, although I do have kind of a basic healthcare plan, and I've got a HSA card and all that good stuff. So my plan has a $5,000 deductible. I used up to this point about $2,000 worth of my deductible. They told me pre-surgery that the total cost of the surgery would be $62,000, discounted down to $16,000 without health insurance. And then because the remainder of my deductible was about $2,800, that's what they told me I was going to be responsible for. I have not yet paid it. 10 days post-op, I'm going to ask for an itemized receipt just to make sure everything is kosher, and we'll go from there. So again, my experience in Florida, in a not super expensive part of Florida, but again, that could range wildly depending on where you're going to get the reconstruction surgery. My personal pain levels have not been that bad. But just remember, I'm 31 years old and I'm fairly athletic, so your experience might be totally different than mine. Really, the worst thing so far has been the swelling, and the swelling is making it really hard to walk and do exercises, but that's about it. Get an ice machine. It can be off Amazon for $99. Here is my ice machine. I will leave a link in the description. Hey guys, so this is the ice machine that I've been using throughout my ACL reconstruction journey. I got this guy on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description, but it has helped immensely in terms of the swelling, the pain, and it's a really simple thing. It's a really simple concept. So pretty much all it is kind of like a little insulated cooler type of a thing. And all you're really doing in here is putting some water, putting some cold water right here. I don't have any ice in it, but the water is really cold. So anyway, you can put frozen water bottles, you can put ice in here, and all this guy right here is basically kind of almost like a pump, a bilge pump type of thing. And all it's really doing, there's two tubes. There's basically one that goes to the knee pad, and then there's one that comes back. So pretty much, you've got this probably, I would say, 6-foot long hose. It comes to the pad, and then pretty much one side, this side is really cold, and then this side is not cold at all. So pretty much, all you do is you just Velcro this around your leg, and you can go hours and hours and hours with this guy going if you've got, you know, maybe a 2 liter of ice, and then just like if you just dump a whole bunch of ice in there. It is fantastic. I really highly recommend this if you're gonna have an ACL reconstruction surgery, or really any kind of surgery on your knee. It just helps not have to get up and down so much with like just traditional ice packs. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. It's super helpful. And let's continue with the video. You really need to get an ice machine. It is so nice to have it, so I don't have to get up and down every 30 minutes to change out ice packs. If you toss, you know, a good chunk of ice in there with some frozen water bottles, that can last 8 hours. It's super nice, and like I said, the one in my description here was $100 off of Amazon. It works great, so highly recommended those things. Next tip is take your painkillers. I am usually pretty against painkillers. I don't like taking them. However, it's really necessary. I tried to go without them a little earlier in the week, and I very much regretted it. So just keep on the painkillers. Take the anti-inflammatory medication, anti-swelling medication. And that's the thing. Even with that stuff, my leg is still very swollen. So take that for for what it is. Keep up with your physical therapy. I think that's one of the most important things as well. It's really important that you keep up with the physical therapy. The physical therapy is what's going to nurse you back to health. The ACL reconstruction surgery is great, but range of motion is very important as well. And without the physical therapy, without following along with the physical therapy, it's going to be very difficult for you to get the range of motion and to be completely, 100% just like you were prior to the surgery, prior to tearing your ACL. I'm happy to report I've seen consistent improvement every day, and I'm very happy the surgery is behind me at this point, but it's just that little incremental change every time you go to the PT to see your range of motion just a few degrees more. It makes me feel good to know that I'm moving in the right direction. If you're scared, there's no reason to be, as long as you trust your surgeon, trust your team. There are so many resources for ACL reconstruction. There's a huge Facebook group called, I think it's ACL Reconstruction. I think that's it. Something like that on Facebook. You can ask questions, tons of really helpful people who have gone through the surgeries. And of course, there's certainly quite a few YouTube videos about ACL reconstructions. But big question is, will I return to skiing? We'll see, but I might just stick to running, biking, and tennis for now, because I really don't know if I want to go through this again. I've heard of people returning to sport too early. They tear it again, and every time you tear it, it's just going to be that much more difficult to do the surgery. First of all, the recovery time takes longer every time. It's just like, I don't know, it's a lot. I really don't want to do this again. So anyway, I will be posting a video in a couple months about my 3-month mark, so 90 days post-op. We'll see how much better I am. Right now, I'm still walking around on crutches. I can kind of hobble along without crutches, but the crutches really make it much easier for me to get around. But yeah, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please leave them below. I'd love to talk to you. See what your situation is. If you have any questions about the surgery itself. It was really painful when I tore it. You should know if it's probably going to be your ACL or some ligament in your leg. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I really appreciate your time. Hopefully you found this helpful. Please leave a comment with your ACL reconstruction story or any questions that you might have for me. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.